is sponsored by Ram Trucks, built to serve.
Welcome back. Let's talk about this marquee matchup from last night. Lakers, Bucks, LeBron, Giannis, chance to make an early season statement for one of these two, and that statement was, LeBron is still the man. 34 points and the win. Lakers back in the top spot out west. Hey, Brandon, was last night more about the Lakers win or the Bucks loss?
Whew. The Bucks are in trouble, but we'll talk about that later because last night was all about the Lakers. And also last night was bittersweet for your Lakers, Nick. It was sweet because LeBron James morphed into and evolved to the next thing. In any industry, in any sport, you have these aging athletes, you have these aging entertainers. And if you want to survive, you have to develop. You have to do something different. You have to approach the game just a little bit differently. Last night, did it not remind you of MJ? Year 10, MJ, when he started really embracing and leaning into the fadeaway? The first option for LeBron James has always been, let me get my teammates involved. Let me pass the ball. Let me get to the basket. This dude looked like damn Ray Allen shooting the ball last night, Nick. Did you see him from three? Did you see the fadeaway? It was awesome seeing him do that. LeBron James is just evolving to something that this game has never seen before. But the bitterness is AD. If you watched AD last night or the last couple of weeks, no, this is a big problem, Nick, because AD, he really isn't, or we should be maybe questioning if he really is the MVP caliber player that we thought he was. The ebbs and flows of his game, the inconsistencies are alarming. This is a guy that we thought was going to be able to carry LeBron James to his 5th and potentially 6th ring. I'm not so sure. This is a guy that sometimes he shows up and sometimes he doesn't. So I'm really concerned about the Los Angeles Lakers because we thought he got over the hump when he won that championship in the bubble, Nick.
Sure. So, all right, so let me address the AD stuff, then I'm going to talk LeBron. So it is odd that Anthony Davis is averaging the fewest points per game of his career aside from his rookie year. He's at 21 points per game. Now, and I know Brandon doesn't like when I go to this part of the floor often, but what I will say is the Lakers, the #1 defense in the league with a bullet, Anthony Davis is the biggest reason for that. So you understand some of the defensive drop-off, but last year they were a top 2 defense, and Anthony Davis did it averaging 27 points per game. So AD does need to play better, but despite how AD's playing, the Lakers have the best record in the league. And that is because they currently have, and they will, I believe, throughout the entire season, not only have the best player in the league, everyone knows that, they have the MVP of the league. And you might say, Nick, look at LeBron's numbers. It's deeper than his numbers at this point. Brandon mentioned three-point shooting. Thus far this season, he's a better three-point shooter than Steph Curry. I will say that again. We are more than 20% of the way through the year. He is a better three-point shooter thus far this year than Steph Curry. He is shooting 40% from 3 on 7 threes a game. And last night, he responded to the first bad game he has played since the first game of the bubble against the Clippers months ago with his best game of the year, reminding everyone, guys, I'm in 2nd gear so far this year, but if I need to quickly get to 5th gear on national television against Giannis, I can. And the other part of this that is shocking to me, Wilds, is the Lakers have played 16 games. LeBron has played 16 games. Shortest offseason ever, year 18, 3rd most minutes in the history of the sport, coming off a championship, finals MVP, I'll never take a game off. It is, even as a guy who is something of a LeBron historian, this is unbelievable to me. I thought he would take some games off because it made sense to. The fact that he hasn't, they have the best record. He's shooting the best he's ever shot from 3. In year 18, it seems impossible to believe, but we just saw it again last night.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you this, because you're a numbers guy. You like to, when you do your list of top 50 players, you rely heavily statistics. I like the soft data of like leadership and stuff like that. But LeBron's not top 10 in scoring. After winning the assist title, he's not top 5 in assists. So do you think that that he can win? And I don't think it's a dirty word, although people say like a narrative MVP, a leadership MVP, almost like a legacy MVP, or does that strike you wrong?
I don't think. Well, legacy MVP I wouldn't like. It should be about what you do this season. We should treat each year as a vacuum. The only way I can ever accept a legacy MVP if it's like what happened with Kobe, where it's like, wait, this guy's never won an MVP? That's ridiculous. We got to make sure he wins it. But that's not the situation LeBron's in. So I don't think it'd be a legacy MVP. But Brandon, I do think leadership matters. And I do think that LeBron's going to average like 25, 7, and 7 on the year. Those are extraordinary numbers. If he does that and the Lakers have the best record in the league, that's the MVP. If the best player leads a team to the best record and has really good numbers, that's the MVP. Through 16 games, Brandon, he's the MVP.
Yeah. I mean, I love it. And you know, when I watch sports, I like to track the storylines, Nick. Last night, I'm looking at LeBron James. I'm like, okay, they've played 10 games. He hasn't gone over 30 points. Everybody's watching this game because it's him versus Giannis. The last couple years has been Giannis. And what does he do? And he does exactly what you said. He comes out after his worst game of the season, and he plays lights out, showing us how awesome he is and how he is the MVP. So for me, I'm like, LeBron James, I wouldn't say coasting, but LeBron James went into this game thinking about the moment, thinking about, you know what, this is my opportunity to show everybody that I am the MVP. Stop overlooking me. But if I'm also LeBron James right now, Nick, I'm going to Giannis. And whilst you're talking about leadership, I'm going to him because I'm like, man, I can get ring number 5. And Giannis right now is not carrying his weight. I know you keep talking about defense, Nick, but I need that guy to be able.
Brandon, excuse me,
AD. Yeah, AD. Correct. So if I'm LeBron James, I'm going to AD, and I'm like, buddy, you got to snap out of it. This funk, these ebbs and flows can't happen. This is how you become a champion and you sustain success.
He could also tell you.
All right, let's take a turn. Let's get back to some football. You can also tell Giannis that. Let's talk about Zion had a big night last night. Went for 27, but Pelicans lost to the Jazz, and so Zion missed out on a medal. Nick, who did not miss out on a medal on your podium?
Hey, let's give the Knicks some love. The best team in the tri-state area right now, the New York Knickerbockers.
Wow.
Julius Randle, 16, 17, and 9. One assist away from a triple-double. Julius Randle in a big win over the red-hot Golden State Warriors. Silver medalist. Hey, listen, Donovan Mitchell. Shaq might think you're no good, but I disagree with him. Donovan Mitchell, 36, 7, and 5 in a win over the Pelicans. He was outstanding. And then, first gold medal of the year, LeBron James. He responds to his first bad game since the first game of the bubble with his best game of the season. Once again, doing his Steph Curry. Not a full turnaround, but a quarter turn. 34, 6, and 8. Controlling every facet of the game in year 18 against the defending two-time MVP.
Well deserved.
Julius Randle, Donovan Mitchell, LeBron James, Jenna. That's your bronze, silver, and your gold.
All right, that's Nick's top 3 wilds. Your miss the cut moment. Nick, he gave us a nibble. We'll give you a bite. One of the most awkward